Good morning, church. We're in John chapter 2 today, and we're just going to read the first 12 verses. On the third day, a wedding took place there in Cana of Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding as well. When the wine ran out, Jesus' mother told him, "They don't have any wine." "What does that have to do with you and me, woman?" Jesus asked. "My hour has not yet come." "Do whatever he tells you," his mother told the servants. Now 6 stone water jars had been set there for Jewish purification. Each contained 20 or 30 gallons. "Fill the jars with water," Jesus told them. So they filled them to the brim. Then he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the head waiter." And they did. When the head waiter tasted the water after it had become wine, he did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. He called the groom and told him, "Everyone sets out the fine wine first, then, after people are drunk, the inferior. But you have kept the fine wine until now." Jesus did this, the first of his signs, in Cana of Galilee. He revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum, together with his mother, his brothers, and his disciples, and they stayed there only a few days. There's some amazing stuff in here. This is the first of 7 signs in the first 11 chapters of the Gospel of John that point to the person and character of Christ. Few things to talk about as we go on our journey. The third day of what? What are we marking time from? We remember in reading chapter 1, there was 3 incidents of, and the next day. If we followed those progressions, this would be the 5th day, actually. So we can't be thinking in the same kind of, and the next day progression. But we do see verse 43 of chapter 1, the next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. And so this must be on the 3rd day after they decided to leave for Galilee, or the 3rd day when they went to Galilee. John is just letting us know that we're still in that kind of time frame of wherever they were and what they were doing. The 3rd day is also significant. The Gospel of John is full of symbolism. It's light and darkness, talking about water and baptism and repentance. And so we should look at this, and it's okay for us to ask, is there some symbolic meaning in this particular timing? When he turns the water into wine, what is that miracle? How is that a sign pointing to Jesus? And what does that have to do with it being on the 3rd day? We have a couple markers. Well, number 1, we see the power and the authority of Jesus, that he did it in these ritual purification jars. The whole thing combines into this scene of on the 3rd day, reminding us of the resurrection of Christ when he turned death into life, transformed it. These purification jars where they would plunge their hands to move in their minds, even though this wasn't written in the law, but this was their tradition, to move from unclean to clean so that they could eat with clean hands. Now remember, Jesus gets hassled at another time. Why do your disciples eat with unclean hands? They were hassling him because they didn't do this right. And then, so he uses those to turn the water into something new. All of this points to the sign that Jesus can renew us, cleanse us, purify us, change us into something completely different. It's important to note, he didn't just make good water. He didn't make bad wine. What he did was bless this couple who was about to face a very profound embarrassment. And Judaism was an honor-based culture. It was about to be really difficult for this family, a huge embarrassment, and starting their wedding off with shame rather than this celebration. So Jesus rescues them from that. He cares about them, and he cares enough that when he delivers very well. He delivers most excellently. So just be thinking about that today. Number one, God has saved you. He has redeemed you and turned you into something completely different than you were. You're not just a better version of your pre-saved state. You are completely transformed. And he has saved you well. He has made you into something that is very good. Just like that sixth day of creation, you are very good. Never forget that, and delight in the fact that he has moved you from an unclean into a purified state, able to have a right and lasting relationship with him. Share your thoughts as we've been reading and rereading. Tell me what has been standing out to you. How is God talking to you? I would love to know. We'll talk to you soon again.